Hey, you guys. Sorry we're running late tonight. I don't even know why, because I've been getting ready for the last, 3 hours, babe? So I'm not sure how I'm late, but I am. But good evening, good evening. And you guys will get to witness our sound check. Oh, it's still connecting. Hello from Round Rock, Texas. Good evening, good evening.
Is that TikTok?
That's YouTube, sorry. I'm not even on TikTok yet. I don't know what's wrong. I'm not sure how I got behind schedule, but it happened. I don't know what happened. So I'm barely starting my live on TikTok. Make sure I'm in the right place. And baby, no inappropriate words on TikTok.
Okay.
Because then it doesn't get pushed out to the FYP page.
All right.
You can't be talking about the people up the street. Hey, y'all, hey. And we're going to do a sound check really quickly, you guys, just to make sure everything is good.
Okay, you're good on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes. Man, I meant to get my blade and I did not. There's always something.
Yeah, you
We'll
sound
work
good
it out.
on Facebook.
Okay, very good. I see that light seems bright today.
Yay, I get to take these out. Yay.
You want to say, let's see. Hey, Lexi. Hey, Maribel. How are you guys doing this evening? We're going to be crafting, so hopefully you guys will hang out, and we're doing various crafts. I've decided that that's what Sunday's going to be, you guys. We're just going to work on various crafts, and I don't know. Although I think I pulled out too many things tonight. I'm pretty sure I've done that.
Are you finishing up the thing you started last week?
Yeah, we're going to finish what we started last week, and then we have the one we started. We have two things we started last week that we want to work on, and then I want to do a reverse decoupage because I promised a reverse decoupage on the window, remember? And we weren't able to do it because the window didn't have any glass. And so, you want to say hello to everybody before we get started, babe?
Sure. On YouTube, it disappeared,
Oh.
and I don't know how to bring it back.
I hope I didn't disappear. YouTube is hard to read because it's red, so I can see the comment better than I can see who's commenting. Hey, Chris.
Every now and then these things get weird.
Yeah.
Sweet Pickens, Texas. Dreaming Cat Studio. Verla McDonald. Oh, Dreaming Cat asks, is anybody else dealing with the California storm? I think that's what's coming our way over the next couple days.
Because somebody mentioned or asked me if we had flooding here, and I was like, well, it's been raining, but we haven't had any flooding, so maybe
Yeah,
that's
but
what
it's supposed to
about.
rain the next couple of days, so yeah. Verla McDonald, Kathleen Hoovis from Spring Grove, Illinois. Verla's from Quincy, Illinois. Verla, sorry, my high school beat your high school in 1979 basketball. That was the state championship, my high school versus Quincy.
Okay.
So, Kim Lamar, Doris R. from Cooler, North Carolina. Luann Vassallo, Licious Beth says hello. Let's see. You have time, Royce? Go get the blade, says Dreaming Cat Studio. Heidi Kulikowski.
I'm going to. I'll be right back while he's saying hi to everybody.
All right. Heidi Kulikowski says, good evening from Colorado. Are you taking your mic with you?
I am.
Then you can still talk to everybody.
You think it'll go that far?
We'll find out. I should put headphones on then, shouldn't I? Let's find out, shall we? Hold on, let me plug in. Oh, this is exciting. Picture of literally nothing. Just Royce's backdrop. All right. I got the... Yep, there's the door. She's not talking. That's disappointing. She's got to talk. Anyway, let's see. Christine Welch says hello from Montana. Ruru2 says yes. Dreaming Cat, she's up in Northern California. Sandy Henkelman. You didn't talk.
I didn't.
Well, that was the point.
Oh, well, you guys couldn't hear me.
Let's see. Ruru 2. Verla McDonald says, I still like you, David. I think you're much younger than me. I was a junior in high school, and my high school won that. Joan Volkman says hello. That's all on YouTube. On Facebook, it is...
On the Facebooks.
Celestine Todd from Texas. Carmen Daumer.
Hey, Carmen.
2 Peas, 1 Pod. Susan Stocking. Angie Champagne. Melissa Nadarak. I think Nadarak.
I believe it's Nadarak.
Yes.
Melissa, you can correct me because that's how I've been pronouncing it.
Carol Klauk. Susan Boehner Whitmore Glasser. I get it wrong every time. I think it's Glazer, right? Glasser would be 2 S's. Michelle Adamus from Virginia. Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis says it's a beautiful day in Illinois. Memory Williams from Amarillo, Texas. Patty Guinup Mitchell.
Every time you say that, my brain just says Amarillo by morning.
Kathy Doucette up in Minnesota. I was just hanging out with a bunch of folks from Minnesota. The folks that are putting on the Fiddle Festival.
Oh, okay.
The Bluegrass Festival that's taking place next weekend.
Yes.
The father, it's a father and daughter that are putting it on. The father's from...
The Darushas.
Yes, Darusha is from...
Is it Darusha?
Darusha.
I've been saying it wrong all this time.
That's okay. I told him you're in love with 2 of his sons, though. And he just looked at me, I said, she really likes how they play. It's a musical family, and yes. You really like 2 of his boys, their musical talent. He's from Cloquet. And Cloquet is very close to Duluth, where I went to school, so... We know a lot of things in common, and anyway. Chris Schmidt, Christy Wittenberg, Linda Ward from Northern Arizona, Kathy Tegardine, Colleen Renee Reinhardt, Lori Slate from Connecticut, Patricia Cassida, Vicky Valdez Green, Sharon Reyes, Jim Visithin, Lee R.L., is that Lee in real life, from Henderson, Nevada, Susan Glazer, excuse me. I saw something this week on Facebook that I immediately thought of you, as in Royce would love this. There's a Facebook group called Peeling Paint.
I am in that group. I discovered them like 2 weeks ago. I am so in love. There is so much yummy texture in there. And there was a post today of a side of a truck, and I put, oh my gosh, this is so freaking yummy. And I was thinking after I realized, they probably think I'm crazy, but y'all know what I mean. Oh, sorry.
Cindy Dobson Lanfer from Jones County, Iowa. Michelle Doherty, Alice Moran Perez, right here in Safford, Arizona. We hear all the time, oh, I watch you from people that live right here.
But they never say anything.
They never say hi, so hello to Safford. Michelle Sullivan from Bealton, Virginia. Lori Stanley Henderson from Indiana. Joni Campbell. Flea and Ken Brown are there. Peg Hench from Pennsylvania, Renee Amundsen from North Dakota, Pat Reed from Redmond, Oregon. It's snowing like crazy. Melissa says that works. Nadarak?
That works.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's right. That just means that works.
Pamela
That's kind of like when people call me Joyce.
Yeah.
After a while, you just get tired.
Oh, yeah, I'm people. Bill to a lot of people. I don't know why. I know why.
You kind of look like a Bill.
I should be a Bill. Bill Bell. Pamela McDowell from Florida, Corinne Godfrey. Corinne up in the Great White North. And let's see, Eva Hiron, or Hiron, excuse me, Eva Hiron. She even highlighted how to hit it. Good job. From Saskatchewan, Canada, or Kisnada, as she said. That's how she spelled it, Kisnada. I like that.
We're typing fast, baby.
Kimberly Richmond Plummer from Newcastle, Oklahoma, and Pamela McDowell. So there you go.
Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you are new to Royce Cycles, my name is Royce. The voice you hear behind the camera is my husband, David. And together we make up Royce Cycled Treasures. So welcome to our Sunday night Craftin and Chattin. Although it should be Chattin and Crafting.
Oh, Verla graduated a little bit before me.
Oh.
So she really didn't care about the high school championship by that point.
By then she was done.
Yeah, she was long gone. It was a big deal for my school. So it's our only state championship in basketball.
Wow. The only one?
Only one. Won a lot of football in the last 10, 20 years, but which is weird because up to 2000, my school stunk in football. It was opened in 64, I think my high school was opened. Mm-hmm. And up definitely through when I graduated, we had never won a homecoming game.
Oh, wow. That's terrible. You're the host.
We were terrible in football, but we were good in basketball. We were always competitive.
Okay.
We were competitive in basketball.
Is that because you played basketball?
Swimming? No, I was terrible in basketball. I wasn't good enough. So we were very good in swimming, very good in wrestling.
Safford is good for wrestling.
And then later hockey, once hockey became a state high school sport. So,
which makes sense. I mean, based on where you guys were.
So tell everybody the big news from this weekend. You get to do that. If you don't follow Royce or
I should have uploaded my video. I'm going to see if I can. Hold on, you guys.
So if you follow Royce or I on Instagram, because that's where I posted first, and then on Facebook, but Royce on Facebook personally, not the Royce Cycles page, but the Royce's individual personal page, you would have seen the news.
It's not letting me even do videos. Dang it! I should have uploaded that video. We have a new granddaughter on the way. We had our baby reveal, the gender reveal on Saturday. My son dunked a football. Oh, his friends gave him such a hard time. So his job was actually to hit the basketball on the rim so it would break open and then all the powder would fly out. But they were harassing him like, them knees getting old now, huh?
You know what? Look, that's what everybody said they wanted. Just if you could get up, if you could hit the backboard, that would have been fine.
Yes.
And he's like, no, I can hit the rim. And they're like, okay, if you can just hit the rim, that's fine.
Yeah.
I was watching him.
Yeah.
The rim was all he was going to get. I love our boy, but...
You know he's watching.
He was not going to get over that rim.
And I am excited because we go shopping. I love DeMar. I love him to death.
Yes.
We go to shopping and like the boys section is like...
It's tough to find boys.
It's tiny. And then all the rest is the girls.
There she is. Now, I have to acknowledge her because she said I never acknowledge her. Ari Sanchez is going to be there. Is on right now. So hello.
Hi, Ariana.
Ariana is the mom of our new granddaughter.
Yes.
So
we're
congratulations
excited.
to Ari.
Yes. I'm excited.
And we got to meet our in-laws.
Yes.
Very cool people.
I'm excited. We get to plan the shower together. We'll see if she still likes me after we're done.
Look, I'm not just saying this because Ari's watching, right?
Oh, yes, you are.
I know I'm not, because I was going to say it yesterday. When she first came out, because I knew we were meeting Ariana's sisters. Well, I thought we were meeting both of her sisters. So you thought her
mom was her sister?
I thought her mom was her sister.
You be sure and tell your mom that, Ariana.
She's a young mom. She seriously, for 25, I can say Ariana's 25.
Yeah.
So I honestly thought she was Ariana's older sister.
Oh, now you're her best friend forever. No, she does look young.
She looks really young, and she was so nice and welcoming us into her home. And yeah, it was great. Boy, you never know when you're meeting in-laws. She might be sitting there going, "Oh, that Royce and Dave. Oh." No.
I think we had a good visit.
I think we did too. It was. I thought it was fun.
So, okay, are you done, babe?
Ari says he's not here. He had to take DeMar.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. So, we're going to finish last week's project. If you guys remember, we started our hearts last week, so we're going to work on that in a few minutes. But you guys remember I started this. This is actually, it's going to go on my desk. Those of you who took typing in high school, you guys probably remember this. We used to put our typing books on here so we could type and not look. But anyways, we decoupaged it last week, and so now I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to trim it. I did want to point out something really quickly though. So I left a pretty big piece of paper here on the top. So as this paper dried, it created a lot of tension, and so you guys will see how it's actually pulled the paper away from my surface here on the top. It's not horrible. I can fix it, but that's why I don't like to leave a lot of paper. On the sides, where I only left a little bit of paper, there's not any tension and there's no pull away, even in the corners down here. So when you guys hear me saying, look, I broke my own rule, leaving like 1/4 of an inch around your edges, this is one of the reasons that I do that, is so that the extra tension doesn't pull my paper up from the surface. But we can fix that in a few minutes. I did want to show you guys how I trim because this is like an inset, right? Usually we sand if it was the edges, but we decoupage the inset on this. So I'm using a really sharp blade and my paper is completely dry, right? If you try to trim and there's any moisture, you're going to end up tearing your paper instead of cutting it, and it's not going to be as neat. So it's been a week, so I think we're good and dry on this one. Rather than going up like this to trim my paper, I actually use the sides to guide my blade, and so I like to lay it flat and then cut it against the sides so that I get a nice even line and not like a jaggedy one.
All right, quick update. Let's see. Candace Clay, congrats. Have a new grandson due in the next week or two.
Oh wow, we're not due till June. Whole thing, Ari.
Yeah, Melissa Nadarak with 2 granddaughters already. We were super excited to get a grandson.
Oh, don't bring it up, Melissa.
On the 22nd of January, so he was just born.
Yes, he is so big, Melissa. I mean, we're used to having big babies at our house, but he's a big boy.
Carmen says, "Let me know if you need help with a baby shower."
Oh.
Ari says she liked us, so we cleared that first hurdle. Let's see. Dom Hunt says, "My girlfriend ignoring my calls to watch my mom's live." Cute.
Oh. Well, she knows you like her. No, I'm just kidding.
Patricia Cassida, the reveal. We're not having anything.
Oh no.
Dom and Ari are having
We're having a grandbaby.
Yeah.
We're done, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Ari says July.
Oh, is it July?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I thought it was June because the baby shower is at the end of May.
Yes, Marty, we are not getting any.
No.
We are getting somebody that we get to hold and then give back to parents.
Yes.
So
grandbabies are the better estes.
Carrie Michelle Maples says, "What paper is that?"
This is the Mechanics decoupage paper, the recycled Mechanics. This is just a piece of it. Of course, you guys know the paper is huge, so we just used a portion of it. This is one, not surprisingly, this is one of my favorites. I realize I haven't done an industrial design in a while. I owe you guys. I think I should do 2. On the spring release, there won't be, well, there's one that's sort of industrial, but not solely. But the spring release is going to be a mini release anyways. There's only 5 designs. But on the next release, in June, you guys, I promise we'll have at least 2 industrial designs on that one.
Susie Chilberg on YouTube's. First, Joan Volkman says, "Thanks, Royce. Now I won't be able to get the Amarillo song out of my head."
You're welcome.
Susie Chilberg says, "Dave, you're zooming to top fave." I'm not sure why, but thank you.
Oh.
She did see the videos, though.
Oh, probably because you told her that she looks like one of the daughters.
No, Susie Chilberg?
I mean, she's just saying in general, you're zooming.
Oh, just that I do. Hey, look, I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it. Legitimately, I thought she was Ariana's older sister. So, yeah. I wanted to say it then. Yeah, Patricia Cassida, girl's really exciting because neither of us have girls.
No, we both had boys. So I've never, Asia, my goddaughter, I got to like spoil her and shop for her. But yes, this will be like super fun.
Yeah, we just no girls in my family, boys in yours, other than our nieces.
Yes.
But they're a world away in Phoenix, which is so far away. By the way, every time we go to Phoenix, it's going to be awful because they're doing construction again.
Oh.
Yeah, they're blowing up another bridge and building a new one.
Can't we just go through Tucson?
They're not blowing the bridge up, but they got to do demolition for the new bridge.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to take forever.
Forever. Sorry. You guys, that's how my head works. Like we watch, what's that show we called? That show we watch with the nurses, the doctor interns? Scrubs. Like legitimately, that's how my mind works, babe. Seriously. Okay. It's ridiculous. So somebody says a word and my mind just conjures up something that it's related to.
So yes, I'm excited.
And I'm just going to go over and I'm just putting a layer of clear coat, sealer, whatever word you want to use, over the top of this just to protect the paper. And then I'm going to set it aside and let it dry because I do want to go around the edges with some brown wax or some glaze. I don't know, whatever I find first. just to grunge it up just a wee bit. So I'm going to set this aside. And you guys know that I've been using my silicone cups. So my clear coat is a little thicker this week, right? But that's after like 2 weeks. That's not bad. So it kept everything like for a long time. I really do like these new cups.
I have to say, I warned our son. He's going to have to carry with him a bat everywhere he goes.
Oh, yeah.
Because that little girl is going to grow up to be supermodel quality gorgeous. I'm not saying that because she's our granddaughter.
Well,
his mom is beautiful.
Yes.
Dom is a handsome man.
Oh, don't say it.
I have to. He looks just like Kobe Bryant.
You know what? People say that, and I sort of see it, but I don't see it.
Well, that's because, you know.
I mean, his sharp features are like Kobe's, yes. Yeah. But like.
So, I mean, that little girl is going to grow up to be. She's going to be on magazines.
No magazine.
He's going to have to beat the boys off with a stick. A big stick.
With a big stick?
Yep.
So you guys remember last week we laid down some texture on here, and this texture you can't really see it, right? Because we used a clear granular gel. So the gel is clear, but it does leave the texture behind. So we're going to do some things to kind of highlight that texture. But I like using this over the decoupage paper because I can still see the paper underneath the texture. And we're going to do some dry brushing. So even when we're done, you're still going to be able to see through it. But we're just going to kind of, I don't know, I just want to add some more life to this before we finish it. And I'm just going to use popsicle sticks on the back, I think, to join these two halves together. And I still haven't, oh yeah, I did decide. I'm going to do a grungy, it's not going to be this one because this one isn't the right kind, but I'm just going to do a grungy. I have plenty of these somewhere. I don't know where they are, to put these two pieces together. Actually, I'm hoping I can find the one from our old cabinets before we remodel the kitchen because those would be perfect. Hopefully I didn't get rid of them. That's why I like to get rid of stuff, babe, because as soon as you get rid of it, you need it.
True. I packed up a whole bunch of clothes that I don't think I'm ever going to get into again. Your Amazon shop, amazon.com/shop/recycled.
Well, this is what we can do.
Somebody was asking about the cups.
Yes. So you guys, this QR code will take you to like a page on my website, and it has everything on there. The bottom link is my Amazon shop. So you guys can find like my favorites. Because honestly, I am so, this roll of like silicone mat is my new best friend. Because like you guys see me putting paint on the mats, and I can do that because whatever I put on here is going to wash right off.
Dorothy Lage says, congratulations on your news on the future birth of a granddaughter.
Thank you.
Grandpa sounds like he's going to spoil and protect his granddaughter. Absolutely. However, if she's anything like her older brother, I will be her favorite.
Oh, whatever.
And
you're only his favorite because you let him play games on your phone.
Oh, no. We do all sorts of things. We play Hot Wheels. We play Dragons.
I think the Hot Wheels are for you.
He likes them.
I play with him on the floor.
I play rock, paper, scissors with him. For way longer than anybody should play rock, paper, scissors. But that's what toddlers do.
Yes.
Yes. So.
And so I'm just taking this rust color and I'm just dry brushing it over the top of that texture just to kind of bring it forward a little bit. But I don't want to put so much that I hide what's underneath because that would just defeat the whole purpose, right?
Denise Koviak-Leonard, I'm late painting a cabinet at my sister's today.
Oh my goodness.
Now I need to talk her into a cool paper design from Recycled.
Yes, you do. Are you guys painting all the cabinets or like a cabinet? Because I'm telling you, doing kitchen cabinets, that is a job. Which I did mine once before we replaced them. We just painted them. It is a nice lower cost option than replacing them, but oh my gosh, you pay for it in time.
Dorothy is right. Grandparents are special.
Yes, we are. And then I'm just going to go in with some little copper, you guys, right over the top of that, some metallic copper. Right over the top of that rusty bit color. And I'm debating doing a little bit more of drips with this. It's a different color.
Oh, Denise said it was just a China hutch.
Oh, okay. Nice. Then she still loves her sister. If they were doing the kitchen, I don't know. She might have mixed emotions.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoover says, kind of looks like a skull on the left section of the heart.
Right here, huh? I see it too. Those are just the gears underneath there. And I'm just going super lightly, you guys. I just want to touch the top of that texture. I don't want to get it necessarily on my paper.
Putting it on the wall all the way to the ceiling, Denise said. That's
oh,
a
wow.
big hutch.
Look, I'm having to feel because the texture is clear, so I don't...
Sweet Pickens, Texas. All right, look, buttering up Royce. Come on now. She says, we'll love craft time with Grandma.
Yes, I agree.
Susie Chilberg says, got to do the copper.
Yeah.
Joan Volkman, it's getting harder and harder to play games with my grandkids on the floor. I might not get back up. Hey, that was me on Friday.
You just got to make sure you're in front of the couch, babe.
That was it. Oh, I braced on the couch.
Yes.
So I had our grandson for a little while you guys were busy.
Yes.
And he wanted to play blocks on the floor. Come on, Grandpa, sit down. Sure, Damar.
Forbid you say no.
You got it. Nancy J. Camp Avalos just tuning in from Oahu. What time is it out there? Is it was it like
they don't participate in daylight savings either? I found
Is it
out.
like 2:30 out there? Are they 4 hours behind us?
Oh, I don't know. I just learned that they didn't participate in daylight savings, though.
Yeah.
Or that they don't. However you want to put that. So this turquoise is a little darker, well, a lot of darker, right, than the other turquoise that we used last week. So I just want to go in with a little bit of this. And I'm putting this one on the plate instead of my mat because I'm going to add a little bit of water, just enough to break up the emulsion of the paint so that it'll move for me. But I don't want to add too much water because I don't want to dilute the pigment. I just ruined 2 sticks for
Hawaii
no reason.
is 3 hours behind us.
Okay, so they're like they're like the opposite of Eastern, huh?
Dorothy says, some see a skull. I see the Dos Cabezas Peak.
Oh.
Because one looks like Skull Mountain. Oh, and one looks like Skull Mountain from Indiana Jones.
You can tell you're on here with a lot of creative minds. And I am going to go on here. Last week, you guys, I don't know if you guys remember, but I laid down water on this side before I applied my paint, and on this one I didn't. And I did prefer the way that this one moved down as opposed to this one. So I'm just going to take my brush and just be intentional about like laying water in certain spaces, just so everywhere that I brush on the water, the paint's going to move a lot faster in that space. It's going to follow that trail of water that I paint on there a lot easier.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, I once read, don't get on the floor unless you have a plan on how to get up.
The couch is my plan, Kathleen.
All right. I'm going to irritate some people on here,
Oh,
not all.
Lord. Why do you want to irritate people, baby?
Because it's what I do. It's literally my job.
Is it?
Yeah.
We watch a sports show, and like one of the guys, I'm like, his job is to be the contrarian. Like, that is what he does.
That's my job.
Oh, I see.
So I had on somebody on Friday, and I had to take up a contrary position, because otherwise I have a boring talk show where everybody sits there and goes, yeah,
Yeah, we all agree.
You can't do that. So I always have to take a contrary. But this is one I really believe in.
Okay.
Dorothy mentioned Indiana Jones. I don't like Indiana Jones. And that is sacrilege amongst my people.
Yeah.
But I watched the first one and didn't really care for it.
I didn't wet this down enough, so it's not moving. Yeah, go ahead, babe.
That's okay. And so I've just never watched the others.
Well, the one, was it the third one or the second one is just weird?
Second one is the one where the Kali.
Where the kids are like...
Yeah.
That one was weird and inappropriate.
Yeah. That's the one that created PG-13.
Oh.
That was a PG movie and parents complained, so they created the PG-13 after Temple of Doom. I've just never... I didn't like the first, so I just never watched any of the others. I didn't watch Young Indiana Jones, the TV show, which people said was equally as good as the movies.
And that was not a good sign for you.
I'm like, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
That's
well,
all.
It's not for everybody.
I may have to go back and watch them because everybody loves them, but although Sweet Pickens, Texas says, I don't either, so not a fan.
So you guys see how adding that dark color in addition to the light just gives it more depth, right? So it doesn't seem so one-dimensional. I am going to add a little bit more water because I wanted that to move a little bit more than it did. And then we'll do this other one.
Carol Kincaid doesn't like it either. Maybe it's a guy thing. All my guy friends loved it.
I mean, I love it, but I love it like adventure movies, you know. Fantasy, adventure. I don't know. I've always loved that. And then it's kind of sci-fi a little bit, you know. There's some like supernatural stuff in there.
So I saw it in the theater. It was a big deal because it was a George Lucas movie, and we were all Star Wars fans. But at the time I was not, and I've gotten away from it now as I've gotten older. But at the time I didn't know anything about the movies I was going to see.
Oh yeah,
I'd see an ad
to see a movie, yeah,
either on TV or in the newspaper because there used to be a theater section. In the cities, we had theater sections.
Well, they did. The Courier used to have a theater.
No, they used to have an ad from the one theater. I'm talking about Chicago.
Well, we already had one.
Every theater had. It was like 5 pages long.
Well, yeah, you guys are bigger.
And you'd see something, you go, oh, that looks interesting. I'll go see it.
Yeah.
So that's how I went in. And I was frustrated by Indiana Jones because I didn't know it was constructed in a very specific style. They were trying to mimic the movie serials of the 30s and 40s. So there was always a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And then it got solved and then it kept going. And I walked out of there going, there was like a dozen endings. I was just really frustrated by the movie. So maybe now knowing that, I should rewatch it and see if
You probably wouldn't like it now.
I don't know. It really bothered me that the movie could have ended like 3-4 times and it didn't. And I was like, okay, it needs to end. Come on, let's end. No, seriously, let's end. And but I didn't know. And then after that, I started paying attention to movies. Now I've gotten away from it. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I just would rather watch. I don't need to know everything.
I'm just going to dry this enough so I can set it aside and it won't continue to run. But whenever I'm layering my drips, you guys, one secret is to dry in between your colors so that you're not just mushing all your stuff together, but that you're literally creating multiple layers because that's what gives you the dimension. So, I mean, you can put multiple colors, but if you just keep adding while everything is wet, you just end up with just like one layer as opposed to drying each layer and then going back in and layering on another layer. Then you're adding that dimension because each layer stands alone.
Flea Brown likes the first two, action, adventure, and comedy. Rima Becerra says you were supposed to have your assistant fix email for the membership. She still needs to touch base with you on that.
Yes. She didn't send you an email. I thought she sent it out on Friday. I will double check with her. My OBM has littles, and so I do not ask her to work on the weekends. So I will check with her tomorrow.
Susie Chilberg, I got more from the music than the movies. Yeah, I will never turn down a John Williams score. Dude was good. Joan Volkman, thankfully my youngest granddaughter loves to work on crafts when she comes over. So we will always have that in common.
Nice.
She's very creative, is great at drawing. She's a little artist already.
And I know Dorothy has been sharing pictures from her grandchild, who's 5, I believe, Dorothy, if I remember correctly. Okay.
Dorothy says second and third are weird. She does like young Indiana Jones, though.
And so I'm going to leave this be for now. I do have the 14. I wasn't satisfied with where we left off with it, so I did start it a little bit. So what do you guys think? Should I do another layer, or are we good? I think that's good. If we do any more, we're going to cover up all the paper underneath, I think.
Yeah, you won't cover up that skull.
Well, it's not a skull. Those are
I know
gears.
it's not. It just on YouTube it's much clearer than on Facebook. And yeah, I could see how people could think it's a skull.
Yeah, I could see it because the circles look like eyeballs.
Yeah, well, and the little things at to the bottom right of it almost looks like teeth.
Oh. Oh, Lord.
Can I take this moment to ask everybody, please share?
Please and
If you're on
thank you.
Facebook, share it. Make a comment. We really do appreciate it when you do make a comment. Hit any of the emojis. You pick whichever one. Which one do we like this week? Let's go for the...
He doesn't even care which emoji, you guys, as long as you like hit one.
let's go for the big laugh emoji. So...
Oh, actually, that's kind of fun.
yeah, we'll do that one. Big laugh emoji today.
People are going to come back to the replay and be like, what was so funny?
Yeah. So it does help. It really helps the page as we talk about all the time in my industry. Not everybody sees everything at the same time.
Not everybody sees everything. The reality is only like 3% of your following sees what you post.
Yeah, so
Literally.
your algorithm is dictated by what you interact with the most, which is why I get a ton of comic book stuff. It's just the truth. So the more you do on here, the more likely you are to see.
Yes.
So that really does help you, helps the page. We would love that. Over on YouTube, if you would please hit that like button. That really, really, really does help.
And comments on YouTube too.
Subscribe. Commenting is big.
Yes.
And it could just be a, hey.
It could be an emoji, an
Can
easy
be an emoji. It could be just hello. Susie Chilberg has some funky ones on YouTube. It's cool. It's a purple face that's kind of crying. It looks awesome.
Oh. And that's Seuss, by the way.
Yeah. So there you go. We would really appreciate it. And on YouTube, you can set it up for if you hit the bell, it'll tell you when we're on, and you can customize your notices. So your phone's not going crazy every time something happens on YouTube. Like I said, this is the only one I get a notice for. I set it up that way.
Yeah, so you're not getting notified every time. I set up notifications, you guys, on a yoga channel because I told myself I was going to do yoga. Ask me how many times I've actually stopped to go do yoga.
I see it in our apps on TV.
Oh, I do that one. That one's fun. That's
Oh,
a
okay.
dancing one.
All right.
I just dance for like 40 minutes. I try to do that one like 3 times a week.
Dorothy said Vera will be 5 on February 9th.
Oh, see?
She's her Ukrainian granddaughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I hope she's safe. Is she in the States? Dorothy, I really hope she is safe. She's the young lady that you sent comic books to, I believe. Dreamy Cat Studios got a blue, I don't know, yelling face, singing face. Sweet Pickens put up the YouTube logo like 3 times in a row.
Oh.
These are cool emojis, you guys. Dorothy's got some funky ones, a heart with blue hands and a scary eyeball, and one that looks like Fritz the cat. I don't know where that one came from.
They're all there, baby, in your emojis. Don't you ever?
Maybe it's Apple. If you got like an Apple phone or something.
Oh, you know what? It does change from device to device and even platform to platform. Because I love the giggle emoji. On my phone, there's a giggle emoji where you see the little thing has its hand over its face and it's giggling. But when you look at it on the laptop, it looks like somebody's going, oh! Like it's not the emotion I'm trying to go for. I want to do the giggle emoji, not the oh Lord emoji. Those are 2 different emotions.
Olga Zork just put on goal, an emoji that just says goal. Yeah.
And so you guys, remember I painted this white last week? I wasn't really satisfied with how flat it was going to be. So I went in with a color. This is Weather Vane from Wise Owl. And it's a gray. It's like it's almost like a military green / gray color. So it's a cooler color. And then I went in with the carbon, which is like a warmer black. And then I put white over the top. So I'm going to try to dry all these layers and I'm going to scrape some of it back so that we have something that's a little bit more dimensional than just the white. And then I want to add some rusty bits before we glue it to the hearts.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoover says can't decide which side of the heart is her favorite. Sherry Benhart just jumped on.
Hey, Sherry.
Lots of laughing emojis. I like that. Yeah, you can put a GIF in too. And by the way, it's GIF, not GIF.
I think everybody here agrees with you. Younger people probably do not.
Well, they're wrong. And I don't mean to be so definitive, but they're wrong.
But they're wrong.
Wendy Reese Purdy says, yes, Indiana Jones are the best movies. 2, not her favorite, but 1, 3, and 5. Hello, Sean Connery and Harrison Ford.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
This isn't dry enough. It's not going to do what I want. I'm going to set this aside and let it dry some more because everything is still kind of damp. So it's not really chipping off as much as it's kind of wanting to peel. So I'm going to set these aside. It's not 41. It's 14. And then hopefully we'll get to come back and chip these pieces, these little bits off to reveal some of the color underneath. So I'm going to sit that right there.
All right, Vicky A. Moore. I'm going to try and pronounce it right. It must be those with a bad case of pareidolia that see the skull.
What's pareidolia?
I'm going to guess a fear of skulls.
Oh.
I don't know.
No, I just think we see different things. It's kind of like when you drive and you ever argue with your siblings about what the clouds are?
Oh, yeah. No.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
have
you didn't
siblings,
have
but
any
I know what
siblings,
you mean.
But yeah, because you see different things.
Dorothy says the comic books went to Pasha, Vera's cousin.
Oh.
Her Ukrainian family safe in Ukraine. Good.
Good.
Hopefully on the western side. Vera and her brother Theo are Americans. Her mother and father have been in California since 18. And Sweet Pickens, Texas says, what was the 14 made of?
These are some old address numbers that I picked at the thrift store. And so they're just metal, but they're like the really thin metal. And so I'm just painting them. You guys, when I go to the thrift store, I always go to like the hardware section. And in our thrift store, they have like a whole wall. And it's like doorknobs and bolts and hinges. I don't know, all kinds of stuff. And they're in bins. It's probably my favorite part of the store. Oh. And so I found a whole little, como se dice? It's that thing right there.
Yes. What thing? I don't have my glasses on.
Oh.
Vicky
it's
Moore
like a
says...
little Tupperware thing full of numbers.
Vicky Moore says pareidolia is seeing a face in everything.
Oh. I may have pareidolia. No, I'm just kidding.
And I'm probably mispronouncing that horribly, but do you want your thing?
Can you get to it without tripping over that cord, baby?
Oh, no, I'll trip.
I don't want you to break a hip now.
I know. You calling me an old man. All right, what am I looking for?
See that little container? It's a little,
This one right here?
Yep. Thank you. Oh, the lid's not on it. So it was just like a container like this at the thrift store, and it had random numbers in it. And I love numbers and typography, so I bought it because I will use them eventually, always. But I buy the strangest things. But I love creating with things like this, you know, little findings. And I have a lot of them. And I know I'm going through a lot of stuff tonight, but I wanted to kind of get through the projects that we started. What time is it? No way. It's 6:46.
It is.
Shut the front door. Okay. I have the tags that we started a couple weeks ago, and we were going to glue some rusty like pieces of metal to them, which we can probably still do that on a couple. But then I found I have like a whole container of would you bin, my craft supplies. I'm awful to them, and these are all like my steampunk type would you bin pieces in here. So I thought it might be cool to paint these and put them over the holes instead of just the rusty bits. And so if we have time, we'll circle back to that. But I want to make sure I do the reverse decoupage because I promised I would do it a couple weeks ago and we didn't get to do it because my window didn't have any glass. So I found a frame and we can do it tonight.
All right. This is a weird comment.
Okay.
Amber Demakowitz on YouTube just wrecked my car backing out.
Oh no, I hope not like right now.
And I hope not while you're watching us and commenting.
I know.
Turn us off. We love that you're here, but turn us off if you're driving.
We don't want to be responsible for no problems.
Right, we want you safe.
Although sometimes I do listen to Zoom calls in the car.
Like the radio?
Yeah, I'll just have my phone and my little thing on the...
Is it playing video?
I mean, it is, but I'm
No,
not
don't
watching.
do that then.
I'm not watching.
If it's up there, you can see it, and that's what you don't want, because
Oops.
that's got the possibility of distraction. But if you're just playing audio, you should be okay.
You can be distracted trying to find your burrito. I mean, you know.
I know. That's why you're not supposed to. And Amber says, yes, I did.
I'm sorry, Amber.
Turn us off. Don't worry about us.
I should have seen how easy it was going to be to get this glass out before we came live, but I'm going to get it out one way or the other. It might be the other because it looks like I'm already breaking it, but it's okay. This piece will go back on. Oh, wow. Am I not going to be able to take it out?
Angie says, I was listening to you in the car tonight on my way home.
That is so jacked up. Okay. So I cannot take the glass out like I thought I'd be able to, but we're still going to decoupage. Baby, do you see alcohol wipes anywhere? Because I need to clean this glass. Oh, I see something right here.
All right, good.
Baby's like, good, because I don't see anything.
Amber says I was not watching or commenting. Good. Or somebody else driving, because you watch videos when I drive all the time.
I do.
And I don't mind that. It doesn't bother me, because you're watching stuff I don't care about. So it's fine.
Y'all heard that, right? I'm watching stuff that he does not care about.
It's that crazy TikTok stuff.
I know. So these are just wipes, you guys. They're alcohol. I love using them for my projects because the alcohol removes a lot of stuff like grease, anything that may have solvent in it. The alcohol will still remove that. And because it's alcohol, it dries pretty quickly.
Amber said she hit her own other car.
Oh,
That's even worse. That means you jacked up 2 of your cars.
Amber.
Oh, no.
So we're just going to clean that really good. Because if we decoupage over some dirty glass, then we won't have the option to be able to wipe off any smudges. So I wanted to do a decoupage. This is not going to be as big of a project as the other one would have been. Ha! Y'all see that? Somebody was saying that they couldn't find something because they cleaned their shed. And I was like, I bet you if you look for something else, you'd probably find it. And see what happened right there? As soon as I stopped trying to take the glass out and try to do something else, the glass popped out. So...
Yeah, a couple people saying they like your dance videos.
Oh yeah, I posted a dance video today.
Susan,
my assistant thought I was
Angie
crazy
said it.
because we were at Home Depot. The guys at Home Depot already know I'm crazy, so you know they weren't surprised. Because usually, I think they think I'm crazy because I usually come asking for things that they don't understand. You know what I mean? Like they're used to dealing with people who are asking for wood to like subflooring to put on the floor or stuff like that. And I go in there, I'm like, I need a thin piece of wood. This is what I'm going to do with it. And they're just looking at me like, what? I'm not going to worry about the front of the glass. I'll worry about that in a few minutes because my mat is dirty. So it's going to be dirty. But as long as this back is clean, I believe we're going to be good. So I chose this one because I think this is romantic. I did consider several. This one is the ephemeral collage paper, and it's just a bunch of script and typography and different elements. This is one of my favorite like background papers. Like this one is really good to layer other things on top of, whether it's transfers or other decoupage paper, or even you know, if you have original art, you can do over the top of your decoupage paper. This one is called Natural History, and you guys can see the background, even though it's light, you probably can't see, it's still a little bit warmer than this white. So it's a white, but it's a warmer white. The letters are more of a gray, so they're not like black. And of course, the scale is a lot larger. So this one is Natural History. This is actually another one of my favorites. And I'm pulling these out because these all felt romantic to me because I want to make this a Valentine's Day project. And this one is literally called Script, and it's a black and white design. And this one is probably the largest scale because it's literally one document that spreads out over the whole sheet. And then of course it has to have some of my weird elements on it because you guys know how I am. But there's just, you know, there are stamps on here. There's some typography, and then some industrial elements on this one, and a locust here on the bottom. So these are the ones I considered. I did end up picking this one because the scale is smaller and this piece of glass is smaller. What were you going to say, babe?
I was just going to say, Susie Chilberg says, wherever I go, they know. Commenting that.
Oh.
Yeah. And Amber says it's not too bad. So glad.
Good, Amber.
Yeah.
So I think I've already chosen the piece. This is a masterboard. I mean, it's not, I didn't call it a masterboard when I made it. It was Ephemera Collage is the name of it, but it's essentially a masterboard because I could use this whole piece if I wanted. But if you look close, there are a lot of little vignettes that are like complete vignettes. So you could use them on a piece and it would still feel complete. And I think that this one is the one that I want to use. Or maybe I want to do this one. No, I want to do this one.
Yeah, Flea Brown says this is her go-to.
It really is. It's a really good background paper, right, Flea? And there's so many elements in here. There's bees and butterflies and crowns and keys and stamps. I had somebody post in the group the other day because she bought one of my industrial designs and it had like a grid line in it. And a lot of my background, when you look at a paper online, you don't always see all the elements that are in the designs. But I will tell you guys that I love ephemera. We have an entire dresser in our living room. What is it, 9 drawers? 12, 9? The one that's on the wall that goes to the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
It's full of ephemera. That's all that's in there.
Yeah.
I collect it. I love it. I don't know why. So most of my designs, like 90% will have some element of ephemera, whether it's a stamp or a script, or it might be lines from like, what do you call those things where you put your, when you're like tracking your money or your inventory?
A ledger?
Yes. It may be lines from a ledger. So a lot of my designs do have those elements, and because they're in the background, you may or may not see them when you look digitally at the image. But I think that's the fun part, is those little surprises that you see when you get the paper. There's a lot more details than maybe you think originally. I'm trying not to cut my crown. You guys see me? This crown kind of comes over a little bit. I'm just going to just cut the very tip of it so I can save this section for a different project.
Carol Kincaid said, would be cool to glue an old key on the heart somewhere.
Oh, I know, right? And I could, because I have I could do an old key because I have those. But I also have my Would You Bend, which is a key that I could put on there. But having like the key to my heart. And so when I'm doing reverse decoupage, you guys, I'm going to decoupage face down because I actually want the image to show on the other side of the glass, not on this side. If you're doing a project with glass, reverse decoupage is really nice because you still have the option of being able to clean the front of your glass if you decoupage on the back side. So we did a project a couple of years ago now where we did reverse decoupage on an old vintage window and we put a ledge on the bottom. It's actually over there. But I did the reverse decoupage because on my porch, we just power wash it every season before we reset it. Although we never finished the reset for winter. It never got finished. There's been just too much other stuff going on.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, I love the way David knows what word object you are searching for to say.
I told David, I don't know what's going on with me today in particular, right? I've been struggling all day. And I'm not sure. I don't know.
We've had an intense couple of days.
We have. It's been a week.
Yeah.
It has been.
Not bad. Certainly not bad. Just intense.
Yeah. We've had a lot going on. And the road trip to. I mean, it's not like horrible. We went to Globe. It's not that far away.
Well, and the mayor of our city has passed away, so we went to the viewing on Friday because we couldn't go to the service on Saturday.
Yeah.
Because that was planned for weeks.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we just blew it off, but
and Dom and our schedule too. Like they have to schedule around their schedule,
right?
Because it's so complicated.
Yeah. So it's just been an intense couple of days, and yeah, and you knew the mayor better than me. I only knew him as the mayor.
You know, I knew him, but I went to school with Ronnie. Like
His
I knew,
brother.
Yeah, Ronnie and I were in the same class, so I knew Ronnie better. It's funny when you're in school, like you remember the older kids, but you don't necessarily remember the younger kids.
Oh no, I didn't hang out with any, sophomores,
I mean, but even like
freshmen.
down the road, like
Yeah.
when you get older, and so yeah, like I remember him, but you know what I'm saying, he was younger than me. But Ronnie and I talked
But we're
after
small
service.
enough. We're small enough town that
Yes.
you
Yeah.
knew him. You just didn't do anything with him.
Yeah. And we did Dancing with the Stars together, remember?
Yeah, well, that's right. He was in yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a hoot.
See, I only knew him as the mayor.
Yes.
So, but I dealt with him a lot as the mayor through my job. So yeah, it's understandable if you're a little foggy today, because today's been the first day where you've been able to go,
Yeah. This is my first day of exhaling all week.
yeah.
So you guys,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
going
and the membership started.
I know. I was so excited. I showed up 2 hours early. Sorry. Yes. I'm going to break my own rule. One real quick, babe. And then I'll give you back the...
No, I'm
I'm
done.
going to break my own rule today. And I'm going to dip my brush into my container. But there's a reason. I do not have any... So, generally, when I'm working on glass, I like to use either a gloss or a semi-gloss sealer. The reason being is because our matte sealers actually have particulates in them, and that's why they're matte, is because the particulates disturb the surface so that the light doesn't bounce off as quickly, and so to our eye it looks matte. And that can also be what causes your project, especially if you're working on glass, to look cloudy.
Do you want a paper plate? I'll go get one.
No, because I don't want to pour it out on purpose. That's what I'm saying. I have a paper plate.
Oh, all right.
So I'm going to use this directly out of the surface because I'm cheating. I know that my mattifiers are probably sitting closer to the bottom. So I just want to pull right off the top here because I know I'm going to have fewer particulates here. So I'm breaking my own rule here. But babe, I decoupage so much, I'll be done with this in a week. I won't have time for anything to grow in there.
Okay.
But just in case, because I know I tell people all the time not to do this. So I'm just telling you guys the reason. It's not arbitrary. And so I'm just pulling it off the top in hopes that I won't have as many mattifiers there as there would be if I like shook it up and use it from the bottom.
Kathleen Hoovis asks, are you going to spritz the paper with water? Does it need it on glass?
So the paper is going to act the same to this sealer as it would on any other surface. Honestly, I wish David would have read that question earlier.
Well, it just
So,
appeared.
I know.
I would have loved to.
I'm messing with you. So my answer is...
Blame me.
If I was going to spritz my paper, I should have done it away from my glass. Another thing that can cause your sealer to look cloudy is if you add water. So I wouldn't mist over my sealer. I'm just teasing. I would have, and I thought about this earlier when I knew I was going to do this, taken my paper to the side, mist it, stretch it out a little bit, and then come over so that I wasn't misting water onto my surface. But it'll be fine. I'm just going to use my felt covered spatula to push out any wrinkles, and I'll go section by section, and we'll be good. And I like to use the felt spatula when I'm working on glass versus like the plastic, because this straight edge is going to really help push out wrinkles a lot better. And when you're reverse decoupaging, those little wrinkles are going to show more on the other side. Or if you have a place where you don't have good contact, it's going to be more visible on the other side. So I like having this to make sure that everything is pulled all the way out. And I know I probably over-explained stuff, y'all, but the way that I learn is I want to know why. My mom, I used to drive her absolutely crazy because I wasn't even being a smart aleck. She thought I was, but I really just wanted to know why. If you can explain to me why something is the way it is or why I need to do something a certain way, A, I'm more likely to follow that rule or do that thing, and B, I'm going to have a more clear understanding of it. So the way my brain works is that I want to know why, and I want to see a demonstration. Like for me, that's how I learn. And so it's also the way that I teach. And I think that I end up with a lot of neurodivergent minds in my courses because they like the way I teach, because they're like me. They want to know why, and They want to see the demonstration, not just, talk about it. And so I'm just going section by section. And this isn't a huge piece of glass. And I probably could get away with doing the whole piece of glass, but I don't want to chance it. Because I really do want to make sure that I have an opportunity to work out any wrinkles.
I like white because it can change my mind. I've said this all along. I hold positions like everybody else.
Yes.
Well, as my lovely wife said, on pretty much everything. But anybody with facts can change my mind. And so I always ask why. If you can explain to me with fact,
explain it like a kindergartner.
You can change my opinion, and I've had my opinion changed. I've had my opinion changed on the air.
Oh wow!
Because somebody came at me with facts, and it was like, you know what?
Okay.
All right.
Well, what I don't even remember what David and I love to debate. It's one of the things that we love to do. My poor son, when he was little, he was so happy when he started driving because he could just leave us at the restaurant. We would be talking for hours, but we love to debate. We do, and I can't even remember what the debate was. We actually we flip flopped. I took your position and you took mine.
Yes, I don't remember what it was, but
I
you're
thought
right.
that was hilarious.
Yeah, we each convinced the other. Brenda Osborne says, hello from Ohio. Always watch the replay, but caught live tonight.
Hi, Brenda.
So, very good. Thank you. Dreaming Cat Studio. Not sure if I'm neurodivergent, but I do love to learn from the very bottom up. I hate skipping steps.
Yes. And I think that... I mean, you guys are going to be tired of me hearing about the membership, but I am so insanely excited. And I think a lot of people here are in the membership.
And it should be stated, it is closed for the time being.
It is. It's closed for now because I want to make sure that I have cohorts who come through together, learning specific things. And if I have people coming in every month at different places, that's going to stress me out. So I opted not to do that. But never mind. I'm going to save that. I'm not going to share. Because they're probably tired of hearing about it. But really quickly, babe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
So I just want to show them something really quickly, and then we can go. So I sealed the back of this, right? And it's going to dry in a few minutes. But you guys can see that it's pretty transparent, right? And even after that dries, there's still going to be a level of transparency. So this is one look that you can achieve with reverse decoupage. Now, because of this transparency, I could apply... a stencil on the back of here using a color, right? And that would show through to the other side, and that would be an option. And if I want it to be really opaque, then I would also go over the back of this with white paint. I'm trying to debate if I want to make a full project or if I just want to do a demo with this. So this one is without the white paint, and you guys can see there's still a level of transparency. I actually have another project right here.
So here's my question to you.
Okay.
So I see the various gray spots, the lighter colored spots. Mm-hmm. We see that. As it dries, which is going to be dominant? The lighter color or the gray?
I think the spots or whatever that you're seeing is actually part of the design.
No, it's definitely from the moisture.
Oh, okay. It's all gonna be pretty uniform when it dries.
But will it dry darker or lighter?
It's gonna dry darker. That's what I'm saying. So some of this transparency is gonna go away.
Okay.
But it's still gonna have a level of transparency even after it dries. And we're gonna dry it and take a look together.
Okay.
This is a project that I did a while ago, and you guys can see that it's really opaque, and it's because I painted the back white. I didn't even paint it nicely. I just painted it. And you also see that there's a halo right there, right? It's because before I painted it white, I went around my edges with a glaze. So any additional elements that you want to bring into the design, you want to do before you do the white coat, because it's actually going to show through the other side. And so I don't know if you guys can see. You can probably see it. The edges are darker, and it's because I glazed the edges prior to painting the white on the back.
Yeah, we can see the halo. Sweet Pickens, Texas says, I'm pretty new to Roycycled, So I'm curious, do you sell your creations or is it just for your own home?
See, what had happened was sometimes I sell them. I don't know. They honestly, they end up like, some things end up in my home. Like this piece I just showed you guys. I think I took it off my wall just to show it as an example at another time. So if you guys ever see like industrial kind of apothecary things, those end up on my wall in my house. If you guys see me making like pretty things, I'm going to either give them as gifts. They may make it to the shop. My friend owns a beautiful store on Main Street here in Safford. And so she's been working with me on finishings so that I can put more stuff in the shop to sell.
Yeah, our local sheriff, I asked him if his wife got the roping can. And he said, oh yeah, I have to tell my wife, we don't have to buy all of Royce's stuff.
Oh, did she get the roping can?
She got the roping can.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, the sheriff for our county, he ranches as well.
Yes.
And is routinely taking cows, down for auction. And you did a roping can with the cow.
With the cowgirl, yes.
With the cowgirl.
I did the roping can. I did a light turquoise, and then we did the cowgirl on the top, and then we put the red roses on there.
And took that one down to the shop. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yes.
And it's sad, but it's sad until the sheriff's wife could get in there.
Yes.
And I think she did tell the owner
that she was going to come.
Make sure this stays because I'm going to get it.
And she's pretty quiet. Like, she's not super chatty, but if I see her, we usually chat. She was somewhere, I want to say Massachusetts maybe, and she saw my products in somebody's store and she was super excited. You guys, my local people really don't, like, I don't know, they don't know.
Well, that's because everybody here is so do-it-yourself.
Well, yeah, and not only that, but like most of the people, I grew up here. So my grandparents moved here when my mom was 6, and my mom grew up here, and then she left and swore she'd never come back. And then I grew up here and left. I never left, and said I'd never come back. And then I came back when my oldest was in 5th grade, I think, 5th or 6th grade. Anyways. Multi-generational. We know a lot of people here, so I don't think it matters. I'm just Royce. You know what I mean? Like, that's right. She's over there in her shed doing some stuff. We don't know what she's doing over there. So you guys can see, even after it's dry, right, there's still a lot of transparency. So I want you guys to think about like the opportunities of what you could do with this, as far as what you could layer on the back. That would be really, really cool.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis asks, have you ever distressed on reverse decoupage? Would it work?
Distressed as in, give me some more hints, like physically distressed it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sharon Reyes, I'm a Y person too. It's not necessarily a challenge, just helps me understand better.
Yes, that's why I used to tell my mom. She would say, you're so analytical.
Well, now hold on, Sharon. It was helpful in my job as a financial systems designer. You better know the whys. Yeah. So, Angie Champagne, is the frame backing white?
You know what? I don't know. That's a good question, Angie. Let me look. Y'all should see my mess over here. It's not really white. It's like cardboard. So that's what would be, if I just put it in there, that's what would be there. Which wouldn't be awful, but it's just an option though, right?
And Patricia Cassida asked, was that a glossy medium you used?
I didn't, Patricia. I kind of cheated. So this one was matte. That's why you guys saw me just dipping my brush on the very top so that I didn't pick up any of the mattifiers. So it's not gloss. I prefer to use a gloss or a semi-gloss when I do glass, but I don't have any because I don't really use it that often.
Pamela Culpa-Dare asks, can you use Wyzal 1 hour to get the paper down?
You can, but the varnish you can use the 1 hour enamel. See, sometimes the Y stumbles you up a little bit. Technically, the varnish does dry more clear than the 1 hour enamel. The 1 hour enamel has resin in it, and so it doesn't have any amber resin in it, but it isn't quite as clear as the varnish, but it's still clear. It's clear enough for what we do. So yes, you could use it. I just choose the varnish because I know why. See?
And Kathleen says, yes, physically, as in removing some of the paper for other things to show through.
Oh, absolutely. You could layer. I mean, you could turn this over and have like rips and tears and other things on here. Yes, you could absolutely do that. Because I could, I mean, if I wanted to add another layer of something even over the back of here, right? I could do that.
So let me ask you this then. If you were planning to distress it, would it be better to distress the paper before it goes on?
I would distress it before it goes on so that you're not sanding your glass.
Right, I was going to say that you run the risk of scratching your glass,
Yeah.
right?
Which, I mean, if you're looking for a distressed look, may not be bad, but it's just something to think about.
Okay.
So I want to say to you guys, if you guys ask me, like, can you do this? There are going to be very few times where I'm going to say, oh, no, don't do that. It would have to be something where it would affect the logistics of something working properly. When it comes to creative choices, like, that is your voice. And if you can make it work, absolutely do that. Absolutely.
And Linda Malman just joined. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Heidi Kulikowski asks, how or what would you layer on the back of your glass that's already decoupaged?
On the back, I could go around with some glaze and create a halo that would show up through the front. Maybe I can go in like this one because it's really pretty, but it's pretty light. Maybe I would do a really pretty stencil on the back, and the stencil would be opaque against the transparency of the paper. So, I mean, you have options of what you can do on the back of your paper. And those are the two that I can think of. But
I would think you could do almost anything as long as there's light coming through.
yes.
So if you can set it up so like in a window, obviously, but if you're putting a backing on like it's like a frame,
It's still going to show. You
but
guys
it
gonna
won't
make me
but it won't
stencil.
show as
No, it's still going to
clearly.
show. It's still going to show because here, you guys are going to make
because
me put something
I can
on
see
here.
a difference when you just hold it up versus your hand behind
Well, yeah,
it.
it's going to be more transparent if there's nothing behind it.
Right,
Absolutely.
so if there's light coming through.
But it's still, if you use something opaque behind it, it's still going to show up. Let me show you. Let's put this frame on here. Actually, this is going to be kind of cute. Now that we're doing it. This is the Royce Cycled Frames stencil. And I am just going to put it on here. Let me see if I can get it on here in the middle. Look, you guys are challenging me. No, I'm just kidding. So we'll tape it right there. Look, I even have, you guys know, I take my brushes and put tape on them, but especially for larger stencils, so that I can have a nice tight stencil brush. And I have so much stuff on my table. It's ridiculous. I'm just going to put a little bit of paint.
All right, while you do that, we do have two more questions.
Okay.
Marlene Mack. She told me just call her Marlene Mack.
Okay.
I tried. I should have just went with the Mac. What would happen if you stencil the back, then painted white? And Alyssa Bricker-Visithin says, could you put a transfer on the back to mimic a pressed rose in a book?
So if you put a transfer on the back, you're going to see the back of the transfer, unfortunately, right? So there's not going to be any artwork. So you're just going to see the back of the vinyl. So the shape would be there, but there wouldn't be any details. But I'm going to show you guys in a few minutes. Oh, man, my stencil moved. I thought I taped that down pretty good so that it wouldn't do that.
Vicky Valdez Green says you could do a silhouette behind it like a bird on a branch.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of options, right? And if you just know that if you're going to paint white behind it, you want your stencil to be a different color, right? Because otherwise your stencil is just going to disappear as soon as you paint it white.
Shannon Booth says, I'm doing this on a lantern with 4 glass panels. Didn't realize how much I could add to the back of the paper. Very excited.
Yes.
Susan Boehner Whitmore Glazer, I can imagine pink paper behind this glass, making this a
that would be
Valentine's
pretty.
project.
I mean, you could even paint pink, right? Instead of painting white, you could paint pink, and that pink would show through. You guys remember when we did I think most of you were here when we did the Layering Your Decoupage series in June. And I demonstrated how you could paint on the back of, especially the light papers like these. And whatever color I would paint on the back of this is going to show through the front. And so like this paper, I could theoretically paint pink right over this frame. That would actually be really pretty.
Dreaming Cat Studio, I did a reverse decoupage bowl with 4 layers. Surprised how well it came out.
Yes.
Joan Volkman, you could put a red paper heart on the back so it shows through to go with the Valentine theme.
Yes.
And Deborah Allen says you can use rubber bands on your brush to stencil also.
Oh yeah, rubber bands will work really good. This one, I didn't do a very good, I'd have to do a second pass. It's not super opaque, but you guys can see that, right? I would have to paint this a color, of course, because I chose white paint for my frame. What time is it? You guys are going to make me do this. Okay, let's do it.
7:18.
Okay, let's do it. We're going to paint this pink, and then we're going to put some roses on the front.
So Marlene Mack just got in, said, are you doing this on the front or the back?
On the back. So we're doing everything on the back of the glass, facing forward. I mean, and theoretically, I could have put my frame down first and then decoupage too, right?
And then Alyssa Bricker Visithin says, a transfer on the cardboard backing then?
Oh, that would be a good idea.
Kathleen Hoover says that would add dimension.
It would. So you guys are so far. Y'all be asking me questions. Y'all know the answers already. No, it's good though. It's like a meeting of the minds. We all come together and we have ideas. Oh man.
Oh, Janet Grubb suggests a red cardinal.
That would be cute too.
So you get the red Valentines, but not
two
overtly,
Valentines.
overtly Valentines.
You can leave it. I'm a lazy decorator, y'all. Believe it or not, I am. And so that's why whenever you guys see me making something, it's only Christmas do I do like specifically for that holiday. My other holidays, it's like it's fall, it's winter, because I don't want to have to redo it for a long time. So I'm just mixing some paint really quickly so we can have like a pink. I got paint boogers in there. And I'm just going to do a quick coat over the back of this with this pink. It might be even fun to do some blending. So you guys have sparked me now. I'm sparked, baby.
Angie Champagne says, not sure if she has ever seen you paint with pink.
Probably not, Angie. Somebody said pink, so I thought, we'll go with pink. I'm open. I probably should be using a lot more paint, but if I want to be blending. I didn't really seal this paper. I guess I did seal it, huh? So I missed it. Just a little bit of variation on there.
Yeah, everybody's chiming in. Alyssa Visithin, Marlene Mack. Yeah, Royce doesn't own pink. And it's strange to see Royce dealing with pink.
I wear pink shirts. My pink Roycycle shirts. Speaking of which, I know, Melissa, you're on here. And Brenda was asking me the other day, too. If you're in Canada and you want a Roycycle t-shirt, let me... this is the QR code for the website to buy the t-shirts. Let me know, Melissa, if you go on to buy a shirt, what happens, because the guys, the shop that prints them for me, they're a local shop. So if I need to go down to pick up the shirts to ship them to you myself, I can do that. So you should be able to go on and order, but if you run into a hiccup, just let me know and we'll get you taken care of.
Now, I see different shading.
Yes, I did that on purpose.
Okay.
That's why I said I'm going to blend it out a little bit.
That's why I wanted to ask.
To make it a little bit more
Sweet
interesting.
Pickens, Texas says ombre.
Yes. A little bit of an ombre. Just a little bit. And so I still went in pretty light. You guys, I think I should go in. I think I'm going to go. Okay, so I went in pretty light. I'm going to go over the back. I'm debating. Let's do a little bit more opaque because I went in super thin. And so it's still pretty transparent.
Melissa Natarack says, I tried last week, but they do not ship to Canada.
Okay. So Melissa, let me know what you want, and I'll just go down there and I'll call them, and then they'll make the shirts and I'll just ship them out myself. I know people. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? It's a good segue. It's something that you preach, being a member of the Chamber Board.
Yes.
I preach, being a member of our Downtown Association Board. If you're a shop owner, reach out to the other shops in your area. You never know what business you can do with them.
Oh, yeah. Business to business is a lot of opportunities, and I think sometimes we don't think of it.
And you didn't know until you sat down and chatted with the owner of the shop.
I know. Where were we? Because it wasn't like an intentional conversation. It was like
some city gathering we went to.
Yeah.
And we wound up, at a table and discovered, oh, yeah, you can
do that.
Print on demand and drop ship.
And so it's super funny, right? Because at our last chamber board meeting, I was talking about chamber mixers and how they create that informal space where businesses have an opportunity to chat with other businesses, because I feel like that's where the magic happens, because you find out things about their business that can potentially, support your business and vice versa. And
so I just recommend, talk to your other business owners, get to know them. You might be able to do business with them that benefits you and them.
Yes.
Hey, if you can get your supplies locally, do so. It just helps your community.
And this is mutually beneficial because, of course, they're selling shirts, and that's what they do, trophies and tees. And for me, it gives me the opportunity to offer you guys more options, because if I had to buy shirts to be able to offer 5 different colors in multiple sizes, I'd have to be a t-shirt business, and that's not what I do.
You almost became one on that first round of shirts.
I still have some of those shirts left.
I know.
And that's not my specialty. It's not what I do. And so partnering with them, I think it's a win-win.
Amber says, do have 2 small dents, have to look at the other car in the morning, and go check on paint.
And so you guys, you can see the frame there. I probably could have done a second pass to make that frame more opaque. But, we're playing, right? We're playing, but I kind of want to have a finished project at the same time. But, yes, these are just examples of things that you can do to have fun. Like, I posted a video earlier this week about how experimentation can lead to discovery. If we're always going in to our work, our practice, with a thought of what we want exactly to happen, then we're really limiting our expression, or we're limiting our opportunities, right? So it's in those places of experimentation is where we find things or we discover things. That's the fun part. So inside the membership, which I'm sorry, y'all, I'm gonna talk about it. I can't help myself. I don't have it. I took it inside. I was showing them my, but you guys have seen it before. My my art journal. I like to buy old atlases. I like the atlases because the pages are generally thick and they're kind of shiny, and I gesso the pages, and that's where I experiment. That's where I play with no real expectations of what's going to happen. And then when I go to do my projects, I have that experience from playing, right, that I can apply to my projects. And see how easy everything wipes off with these alcohol wipes? I love them. But even if you took some regular wipes and just squirted them with alcohol, you could do that too. So I could have gone over my frame, right, and done another pass to make it more opaque, but I still think that's pretty cool. But let's put some transfers over the top of our glass before we go tonight, just to have fun. Oh man, that one's not open. I have roses. Hold on, you guys, because I do not want to.
Wittenberg says, I love using the local print shop in my town for business cards. Yes, but let me give you another tip. Ask them about their design services.
Yeah.
If you need something designed. You'd be surprised. Print shops generally have pretty good designers, too.
They do, because Dylan actually did my logo when he was working for CMI.
Well, yeah, and they stole him from me because he was my page designer when I was at the newspaper. But we couldn't pay him what CMI could pay him.
Yes.
So he went over to our local print shop and worked there, and then discovered going off on his own he can make even more money.
Hopefully.
And he got the Freeport contract.
Okay, that's good. That's why I can't get anything done.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And he's this phenomenal designer.
He really is. He's good.
Self-taught. I think he took a year at EA.
Yeah. But I think he just has like a.
Yeah.
He's really good. He does a lot of my graphics. I do
not the animated style. That's not him.
No. This should be cute. I feel like that's going to be too much. What do you guys think? Let's find out.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just saying that's why you want to talk. It's to find out what else they do.
Yeah.
And to tell them what else you can do for them. Because maybe you could do business for them.
Our print shop, I don't know if I feel like our print shop is unique because they do a lot of stuff. And I think it's because they're in a small town and they're the only one, so they do all the things. Because I know they have like those chains in the cities. What do you call them?
Yeah, Vistaprint, not Vistaprint. That's online.
Like Kinko's or those ones.
Yeah.
But CMI, I mean, they do a lot of stuff. I mean, they even do wraps.
They
like
literally
for the car
do signs.
Yeah,
they'll
signs,
wrap a car.
They wrap the cars.
They'll do a large sign that goes on a building. Yeah, they're multifaceted, but you never know what they can do for you or what you can do for them.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something you can do for them. Maybe they want to redecorate their building.
Oh, Lord.
And you could do some of the furniture.
I envisioned myself doing something inside of this frame, but I don't know if that's going to work. Maybe all I want, look, you guys, I'm not destroying my transfer. I can still, like, redo this if I need to, but I just kind of dismantled that transfer. Look, that's kind of sweet, right? I'll just put that right inside of the frame, and I'll save all these other bits for another day. I maybe should have cut that a little bit taller, but it's okay. My brain sees, what do you call it, babe? Like how things compare to each other in size, proportions. And
Gene
so
Higginbotham
this should be
says
a little
the
bit
frame
taller.
looks like the ghost of a frame.
I know. I should have done 2 passes of my stencils. I should have done 1 pass, dried it, and then gone back in to make it more opaque. But I did not because I was kind of rushing. But I still think it's kind of cool, though. And you guys, when you're putting a transfer down on glass, you better know that that's where you want to put it once you touch that glass, because transfers love smooth surfaces and they stick to glass really, really quickly. So you don't want to touch down until your decision is made.
Susan Boehner, Whitmore Glazer, the rosebud is good. The bigger rose would overwhelm.
Yeah, I think it would have overwhelmed it some. I mean, but if we hadn't put the frame, then I think it would have been framed out by the whole thing, and so it would have made sense to have a bigger rose. But you can use your transfers. Like, this is something that's pretty, right? But you guys saw what I showed you earlier, which was more like grungy and apothecary, which is more my style. And I'm not going to seal this because people ask me a lot about sealing the transfers. If the transfer is going to be on a piece of furniture or something that's going to receive a lot of traffic, then I worry about sealing it. But if it's a piece of artwork like this, I'm not going to worry about sealing it because it's not like, nobody better not be messing around with art on my wall. And so that's that.
I do have to say, because Susie Chilberg said she's wiping out, she's got to go. And we're at 7:30, so
okay.
It's the right
Perfect.
time. By putting that on the front, you've created depth.
Yes.
Because I can see there's a differentiation.
There's literal depth, right? Because this is on the front of the glass and everything else is on the back of the glass. And to somebody else's point, if they even put something else on the back of the board, right, that would be even more depth. So this frame is kind of shiny, so I'm probably going to paint it. I don't know why I don't like shiny. I wonder where that comes from. I don't. I think I associate shiny with like new or plastic or something. So I don't care for shiny. I don't know if this was the way this frame was or if somebody painted it because I got it at the thrift store. But isn't that pretty? And you guys know I don't do purdy. I guess I can do purdy, but I don't. But, and to our point earlier, this is something that's like sweet, right? And it winks to Valentine's Day, but it's not like specifically Valentine's Day. And so this is something you can kind of incorporate. And that's how I do holiday, is generally I'll make something, it'll go on my gallery wall for that season, and then it'll get rotated out when I reset for the next season. So I think that's all we have time for tonight. I will share pictures because I don't think I'm going to come back to the heart because it's essentially done. I just need to put...
You were going to hinge it, weren't you?
I am, but we'll see what happens because I always say I'm going to do it and then I don't make it back into my workshop. And honestly, with all the prep that I'm doing for the membership, I may not make it back in this week. So we may see the frame again. We'll see what happens. This is still kind of wet. It's not wet, it's just moist. And so instead of popping off, like chipping off, it's actually like peeling off, which is not what I want. So I guess I'll wait on these two to distress them. I wonder what happens if I sand it instead of trying to chip it off in big old chunks. Maybe I can just sand it. Wait, where is my big sanding thingy? I saw my big sanding block because it's like a 180. That's what I need. This one is finer. Okay, babe, I'm gonna let you go. So I think that's all we have for tonight. You guys, if you're not getting alerts from Facebook, you can sign up for text alerts at... Can you read that number, babe?
At 1-928-563-4641.
And just text hello to that number, and then that way you'll get text alerts. I do not text a ton, I promise. But I do try and text like 15 minutes before the lives on Sunday because I know Facebook doesn't always send you alerts when we're about to go live. Or if you're on YouTube, there's really no way for you to get an alert in advance. And so you can sign up to get alerts there. And then I think that's all I had today, unless you can think of anything, baby.
Let's see.
Or unless there's any more questions. Ha! There's my block. I knew I saw it.
All right. Just putting it up on...
on the thing.
Yeah.
Although everybody's probably gone, so nobody's going to see it.
Yeah,
I
for the
probably should
most
talk
part.
about that early on. But
For the most
thank you
part.
guys so much for joining us tonight. And as always, you guys, there is nothing that I've done here tonight that you guys cannot absolutely do. You guys can do this. You can do it today. And we will see you guys next Sunday, Lord willing. So.
Oh, hold on. Before you sign off. Or did you?
I didn't sign off yet.
Okay. So that's a question I wanted to ask, and I forgot to ask earlier. Next Sunday, Super Bowl.
Oh, do you guys want to play next Sunday? Are you guys going to be watching the Super Bowl?
I mean, that's one of those events where everybody watches.
I know, because I used to go to Super Bowl parties, but I was there for the food and the company.
Yeah. So it really is up to you guys. Maybe do something.
I'll do a poll.
Yeah.
I'll try if it'll let me. I'll do a poll, and then we'll see. I'd like to poll the people who actually show up, though. We should have done it earlier.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm sorry.
It's
now,
okay.
For me, we could go live because the football season ended 2 weeks ago.
Football season's been over, huh, babe?
Yeah, it's been over. So I'm good with going live. It is. Yeah, Barbara Garrell says skip it.
Skip the live.
And Kathy Cook says, what's the supper bowl?
That's exactly what it is. The supper bowl. I go for the food and the company. I go to eat. I go to sup with people.
Carol Kincaid says, no, not watching. I assume that means not watching the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Kathleen Hoover says, we don't watch the Super Bowl.
See?
Celestine Todd does not watch. Flea says she's available next Sunday. Lisa Vansell will sneak in from work next Sunday. Christy Wittenberg does not watch football, so if you're on, we'll watch. Gene Higginbotham, I can play. I won't be watching the Super Bowl.
See?
Beverly Skeen's going to my old stomping ground. She's going to exciting Laughlin, Nevada.
Are you being sarcastic when you say exciting?
She says that because she said, But yes, I've been to Laughlin many times. I used to I broadcast out of there a couple times too. Chris Schmidt, I'm definitely available next Sunday.
See?
Renee Amundsen, no Super Bowl for me. And Vicky Valdez Green says, no, not everybody watches the Super Bowl.
See?
Even the people that don't like football, though,
That came out really pretty.
participate in Super Bowl parties.
Oh, I know. I hear what you're saying.
So I get it if people said, no, that's,
Yeah. Because I would show up for the Super Bowl party for the food and to root for the underdog. That is my job.
So Jim Visithin, we're watching the game. We'll miss you. We understand.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Barbara Garrels, I can do both.
You're like me, Barbara. My poor husband. Yeah. I'm watching TV with him, and I'm like watching and editing videos, and then every 5 seconds, what did she say? Why did she do that?
Eliza Bricker Visithin says, I'll catch the replay. I'm assuming the replay of us.
Yes.
Not the game.
So we'll see.
But we understand.
It's
there's no wrong answer on this one.
No.
So.
Okay. I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have a blessed